I woke up. I had to go to the restroom or something. I don't remember. Or I just woke up. Then I have a really hard time going back to sleep. So I got up and I read a bunch of Travis Sago stuff I'd printed out. Till 5 a.m. I went back to bed. Fortunately, I slept really well and I just woke up a little bit ago, 10 minutes ago, got some coffee. I feel good though. I slept well after that. When I was young, I would go to be different. I'd be going to bed at 2 a.m. or 5 a.m. without having gone to bed at 9 or 10. It's a bit different. Morning to you. I want to talk about, so Travis Sago, if you don't know him, he's a marketer, been in the game a long time. He used to have the bum marketing, if you were a fan of bum marketing. And Travis has a Substack now. I didn't know much about Substack, but it's pretty cool. It's interesting if people are making money on there and how they'll make money. You put your newsletter or your articles up there, and you can cut them off early if you want, and make people subscribe to read the rest, or you just stick it up there and have a subscribe button. And then you can even have like an OTO button, which is it's cool, I guess the benefit of it, presumably you can get visitors and opt-ins and so forth from their platform. I don't know if that actually works or not. So Travis put some stuff over there, $8 a month on a Substack. So I subscribed. One of the topics that Travis talks about in his upsell course, the little button, and it's $497. Great course. It's called passive income, something or the other generator. One of the things Travis talks about is being a producer versus a creator. So I'm a creator. I create products, right? Hey, how are you doing? So I'm a creator. I create products. Travis is talks though, but you could also be a producer. And it's a nice distinction. A producer is someone who's like a movie producer. So you don't act in the movie. You don't even have the financing for the movie. You just pull it all together. So you don't have to create your own products. You can be a producer. You could hire people to write the product if you wanted, record it, or do whatever you wanted, right? This is a nice concept because some of you are stuck on product creation and can't get the product created, or you're like, I don't have the expertise for whatever. And it does not matter. What matters is the selling and the marketing of it. Because it's as Travis points out, there's an old quote about experts being a dime a dozen. I don't remember who said that. I think Ryan Dice said that. But that's really true. You can hire experts all day and all night long over on, I don't know if guru.com still exists or not, but you can hire lots of experts and sometimes relatively inexpensively, right? But because a lot of experts can't market and sell themselves. So the value is in the marketing and the selling, right? Which means you can pay and hire someone or pay them a percentage or whatever to do the actual product part. And you could just be the producer. I thought that's a really great concept by Travis, right? Thought that was a really great concept. Now, I produce my own stuff, but I have made money. I mean, I create my own stuff, but I have made money more as a producer where I interviewed someone who was the subject matter expert, packaged that up, sold it. That works great. I did that not too long ago. I did a Try Before You Buy webinar with David Wood from some of his Empower Network experiences, because I thought it would be valuable and interesting to people, right? I did that with Dagan Smith's story selling method called the Invisible Funnel. People loved it. It worked great. So you don't have to be a creator. You can be a producer, right? By the way, if you're watching this, today's the closeout day for my Beast Money affiliate manual and in-depth 2.5-hour training and members area that's fully stocked and stacked. It's at marlonsnews.com, MARLONS, marlonsnews.com/49 secrets. And if you're not on my email list, go to marlonsetters.com, get my free seed marketing report. So, creator versus producer. And Travis makes the point, it can be a hybrid. Like, you can create part of it, but then also use somebody else who produces part of it, which is a pretty interesting point. Or one time he had this software, he used this software called Market Samurai that would create keyword reports. He would create and sell keyword reports. And he didn't have to do any of that business. I'm sure he had an outsourcer or assistant or virtual assistant do the production of it. But that was very lucrative. Hey, John, how are you doing today, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. Yeah, John, I think it's an interesting thing. And I'll tell you somebody who did this. There's a guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he sells stuffs for affiliates over on JVZoo courses, PLR. But he writes out a script, and then he goes over to JVZoo and hires spokespeople out there to present it. And, you know, these people are professional presenters and great backgrounds and video and everything. So his products just look incredible. I think it's called Viking PLR. His first name, I think, is Steven. His stuff looks incredible. Looks amazing. So he's like 50% creator, 50% producer, because he writes the scripts, but then somebody else actually records them, right? So producer, the point of this is producer lets you sell on a lot wider range of topics where you feel like you're not an expert. You can be like, well, I'm not an expert about whatever it is, Chat GPT or whatever, AI or whatever the topic is. But the critical thing is not the expertise. The thing that brings in the money is not the expertise. Oh, you had your eyes operated on. Well, I hope that went well, John. I have one cataract that still has to be removed this year sometime. Not particularly looking forward to it. So it's really the marketing and the selling that has the value, right? Not the expertise. Because, again, experts are kind of like a dime a dozen. And most of them don't know how to market and sell their expertise, right? So it's being able to market and sell that has the real value, right? Being able to market and sell. And that's really a big realization. When you realize that, really opens up the possibilities for what info products you can create, or, you know, what you can create or produce to sell, right? Travis makes another great point. It's a point I've made in the past, but he reiterates it. That selling is really about building up value, and not just value, but perceived value, because you can really have great intrinsic value, but if people don't perceive that, it's irrelevant, right? There's a kick right now where people are talking about, oh, you got to have the best product, right? Now, having the best product is great in some ways, but it has to be, the value has to be perceived. Otherwise, the consumer doesn't care. But beyond that, you can have the best product, but the consumer may not be willing to pay for the best product. I mean, the consumer may want the McDonald's burger, and you're like, yeah, but I'm Fuddruckers, and you have this really fancy hamburger, and it's a recession, and they're like, well, that's okay, but I don't want to pay $10 for a burger. It's a recession, and I want the cheap burger, right? So there's nuances there, but the critical thing is really, can you build value for what you're selling in people's brains, in their minds? Can you build up the value for it? So this is the real art of selling, is building up how do you build up value, especially for intangibles. You can't touch it, you can't taste it, you can't feel it. Like information is an intangible. It's like insurance. Insurance is an intangible, right? The only difference is you benefit from insurance after you pass on, typically. Info products, you benefit while you're living. Now, they did come up with this pitch on insurance about how you could, it's called the infinite bank, how you could actually use it in this lifetime to benefit. And that's a much better pitch. It's a much easier to sell pitch, right? Give up front and look at back end value. Yeah, absolutely, John. What's up, David Kavanaugh? How are you, sir? What's going on over there in Thailand? In San Antonio here, it's already summer pretty much. We have a storm coming in later tonight, hell. I hope it's not bad hell. Last time we had hell, it beat the living crap out of my house and my car. Yeah. But at least it's not snow. My friend Joe Lavery's in New York, somewhere in New York, freaking place, I guess. It's New York. Yeah, I guess New York. And it's like snowing. He has like a ton of snow, taking 2 hours to clear off his driveway. So I don't think you have those problems over in Thailand, David. So this Substack thing is new. I don't know much about it. You have the potential, because people can search there. So you have the potential to get subscribers and customers because people go there and search. Thailand's always hot, really hot. So people can go there and search. And then a list of the newsletters will come up. And I think this could be a good way to get customers, because Substack is getting, I think the guy who's doing, the journalist doing the thing for Elon Musk, the research on all of the political crap, whatever it's called, he came from Substack, or he has a Substack, right? So I think Substack's getting, let's look at the Google trend real quick. I'm not going to go on forever today, but I think this would be interesting if we go over here and look at the Google trend on Substack. Substack. So we go over here to Google Trends. And let's just type in Substack. And what we want is a longer time frame. This is only since March. We want, we want the past 12 months. So this is March 2022. Well, it's increased, not hugely, not great. Still hasn't crossed this line up here. So here it was 99. here at this peak, it was 95. The only difference is, see how it came down here for quite a little while and was almost below this line here? Now it's staying above this line, right? So, but here it was below, here it was below, but starting right here, pretty much around when Elon Musk started having the guy publish those things, it went above this center line and it stayed above it ever since, right on a higher trend. So it is trending up, maybe not as much as I expected, but I do think if you put a line across the lows here, you see that line right there? That's called an uptrend, right? You can draw a line from here to cross these bottoms like this up to here, that's called an uptrend. So it's definitely in an uptrend. If you don't know what Substack is, Dan Rain went over there. Dan's in our industry and put his newsletter over there. And I'll probably talk to Dan sometime and see how that's doing. So this is Substack here. I'm subscribed to Dan. You know, you can search and then subscribe to people for free, right? So I'm subscribed to Dan's dealio, and I'm subscribed here to, now I went ahead and paid for Travis's, right? But Travis also has free stuff on there. But if you pay, you know, you get, that's the way it typically works. If you pay, you get more, or you get full articles. On the free one, sometimes the articles are cut off and you don't get the full article, right? So, and anyone can put their stuff over on Substack. I guess they charge a percentage, I'm guessing. I really don't know a lot. But here's what I was talking about. Let's just say our topic is covered calls. So we go over here and we type in covered calls, publications, and here are the people with publications about covered calls. Now, some of these aren't, most of these aren't actually covered calls. Some of them are. So people can go over here and search and see your publication and subscribe for free, and you're going to get free opt-ins from that. Well, it sounds like a pretty good deal to me, right? Now, I don't know how many opt-ins you actually get. So, like, an interesting search is you go over here to YouTube and you type in opt-ins from Substack, right? Here's how to create a newsletter on Substack. But do we see anybody here actually saying they got opt-ins? Why I moved to Substack. Why I left Substack for ConvertKit, both of them. All right. Substack versus Medium versus MailChimp. Interesting. But I don't see anyone, how to monetize a Substack newsletter. Introducing my journey to 50,000. Okay, that might be interesting. Ghost versus Substack. I guess Ghost is a newsletter platform I never freaking heard of. I don't see anyone publishing that they're getting opt-ins from Substack, but maybe they are, right? This is pretty freaking interesting. This is pretty interesting. So, all right, that's what I've got for you, guys and gals today. Let me get back over here to my group. What happened to my dealio? Whoops, sorry about that. All right, guys. I hope that was interesting to you. I think you would enjoy Travis Sago's newsletter over there on Substack. Dan Rain, like I said, is over there. Dan always does a great newsletter. So it's pretty interesting stuff. And I think you're going to see a lot more from Substack coming in the future. I believe that. All right, guys. John, thanks for joining me. David, thanks for joining me. The rest of you, thanks for joining me today. Some of you, I can't see your name just here on my restream, but y'all have a great day. I'll see you all.